What's up everybody? My name's Eric, I'm that one guy. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and for those of you who are not new or subscribers, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a review of the Unit 1 Faro smart helmet for e-bikes. This particular model is equipped with MIPS, as indicated here. MIPS stands for Multi-Directional Impact Protection System, a helmet technology designed to reduce rotational motion and forces transmitted to the brain during angled impacts. As with helmet protection in general, I hope to never have to test to see how effective MIPS is, but I find relief in knowing that I have that extra protection, MIPS. Now, if you're looking for a video covering all the general functionality of the Unit 1 Faro, Unit 1 actually has a bunch of helpful videos that they do professionally, teaching all the ins and outs of the Faro. So I'll leave that to the pros and have a link down in the description of the video to Unit 1's YouTube channel and their videos. This video is going to be a review of what I like about my Unit 1 and what I think could use some work. Now let's start with the design. If I don't say so myself, this is a nice looking helmet. On top of being nice to look at, it's also easy to spot, especially at night. This helmet has a whole bunch of different varieties of colors and animations for this section here. And also in general, I just get a ton of compliments from strangers, both riders and people just walking by saying, hey, that's a cool helmet. The Faro is comfortable to wear. It feels secure on my head, thanks to an easy latch and unlatch fid lock chin strap. It has a dial adjustable retainer in the back, and the padding has held up very nicely, though it hasn't been through a whole lot of sweat. It's had a lot of miles here in the fall and the winter this year. Everything has stayed looking really nice through the elements. I've ridden in the fog, I've ridden in the rain, and the helmet still looks, in my opinion, it still looks brand new even with this matte finish. The materials on the Faro feel high quality, including the padding inside. The matte outer shell, like I said, still looks really good. This textured light area and the retaining straps and the dial, they all feel high quality. And after about 5 months and a couple hundred miles on my e-bike, like I said, this helmet is held up very nicely. The battery life is decent, even very good, if you choose to use any blinking functions on the back as opposed to a solid light all the time. And on top of good battery life, it also charges relatively quickly. Unit 1 has taken the guessing out of remaining battery life by indicating how much life is left here at the end when you turn off the helmet, and also when you turn it on. You can also get a very specific battery percentage by using the app. Now, I haven't ridden a lot in hot weather, but ventilation seems to be adequate. It has these top vents here for incoming wind, and then these ports in this large vent here in the back to push that wind right through on the top of your head. Turning the helmet, and we've already done this, turning the helmet on and off is very easy. You just hold this button down in the back, and it has this like raised rubbery feeling button, which is easy to do even when the helmet is on my head, and even with the gloved hand, which, you know, if you're riding a lot in the summer, you won't worry about the gloved hand, but I've been riding it here in the winter and fall. Very easy to find that power button, even when the helmet is on. Now the Faro starts at $190, and it's $230 for this version, which comes with the extra safety feature MIPS. As I mentioned, I can't review the MIPS. I'm confident in the MIPS technology as it's used a lot in motorcycle helmets, which I ride motorcycles too. Other safety on the helmet that I can attest to is the light's brightness and ability to be seen. I've been told by family and friends who see me on the road at night that first of all, that they know it's me because no one else has a helmet like this around, but also that they can see the lights when I turn my head as the helmet's wrapped just a little bit around the sides. So even at profile, you can see lights here on the side, in the front, and in the back. Now, in my opinion, I'd say the pricing and value for the Unit 1 Faro is fair. I'd even call it good value if you can manage to buy during a promotion. And also stay tuned till the end of this video because I may be able to help with that. So, we've talked about the helmet, things that I like. This next section is going to be called work in progress. Now, the Faro brake light seems to work a little inconsistently. It also doesn't work without the remote, which is a separate issue. On hard stops, it seems to work well, but if I'm just doing like a slow brake, it doesn't always work, and that can be troublesome, especially if you're riding in traffic with cars, that light isn't showing that it's working when you're just kind of coming to a slow stop. I'll also say though that this problem isn't exclusive to Unit 1, as I know larger motorcycle helmet companies that have brake light technology built into their helmets doesn't always work unless you stop hard. So Not a problem alone to Unit 1, but again, this is just something that could use work. And my last gripe is with the chin strap. Now, the fid lock, I love. I have fid lock in my motorcycle helmet as well, but what I found with the chin strap has nothing to do with the latching system. It has to do with the strap. And again, I don't know enough about the helmet technology or how this works to provide some kind of solution to this, but the strap here comes loose very easily. It should be easy, in my opinion, to cinch it down, but what I found is as I've carried the helmet around, it doesn't matter if I'm carrying it by the strap or if I'm carrying it like this, this strap system wants to come loose and loose and loose. So I'm constantly, and maybe this is just something with bicycle helmets, it doesn't happen a lot with motorcycle helmets, that this, once cinched down, I'd like it to just be able to stay here a little bit better. I don't know what the solution to that might be, but that's just an issue that I've seen. And my last thing isn't a complaint about the helmet in general, it's more about something that I, wish list we'll call this, is that I wish that this visor here was a little bit more visory. And if it wasn't able to actually come with a visor, would be to have some sort of an accessory to add a little bit of sun shading in the helmet itself. Now, if you're someone who's not going to use the app, you can ignore this part of the video completely and skip forward. I'll even have a time signature down in the description if you want to skip this part. The app gives you tons of customization options for how the lighting is on your helmet. You can adjust the way it blinks, the way it animates, its brightness, its color in this section here. You can also put in the app your emergency contact info. So if you get in a crash, it will actually send a message to someone if you don't go to your phone and say, hey, I'm okay. It'll send a text message to your emergency contact. Now, with all of these options and customization, the menus can be a little bit complicated to navigate. The issue that I've run into most commonly is that I'd make changes to the way I want my helmet to animate or the color or something, and then I forget to basically apply the changes, and then I've made all these little tweaks to the helmet, and then I forgot to apply it, and then it doesn't save, and then I've got to go back and make all those tweaks again in order to get them to apply to the helmet. So that's just one of those things that's nitpicky about the app. It is impressive how many options there are, but on the other hand, I just wish that the learning curve for using the app, navigating the app, wasn't as steep. Now, Unit 1 seems to understand the difficulty or how complicated the app can be, and actually, when they make updates to the app, will offer tutorials. Basically, when you open the app after an update, they'll have little tutorials like, hey, do you want to learn about this new feature in the app? So that is great. I love that they are able to lead you along the way of how their app works. But for me, I like apps to be simple. It's why I have Apple devices. It's because usually the UI, the user interface is simple. And the app could just use a little tweaking more to the simpler side. All right, so let's talk about the remote, which is right here on my pedal assist VanMoof X3. Now, since without the remote, you're losing out on some key features on the helmet, like the turn signal and the brake lights, I would highly recommend spending the extra money to get the remote. Again, if this is a nitpicky and we're talking about a work in progress section, I think the remote should just come with the helmet. As far as functionality, you can select 5 to 10 seconds of blinker time, or you can use manual shut off, which is what I use to turn off the blinker. The light on the remote is pretty bright. During the day when I use my turn signals, I can see it unless it's in really direct sunlight. It makes it a little difficult to see. But the only problem with that is if I can't see whether or not I turn the turn signal off and it's in direct sunlight, then I don't know if I'm still indicating that I'm turning. Now, if you're just using the remote with just the helmet's smart light, then the functionality works just fine. It connects initially when you turn your helmet on, and it's pretty much set it and forget it. However, if you're using your smart light here, either on your bicycle or on your Unit 1 Torch backpack, and you have another light there, it doesn't always connect to both lights when you turn on both lights to go for a ride. Sometimes it will only connect to the helmet, sometimes it will only connect to the backpack light, and what happens is that eventually they'll both connect, and then when I go to indicate my turn on the helmet, it won't signal on the other light, and then when I go to turn this helmet off, it starts to indicate on the backpack, which is bad. Because I'd say about 1 out of every 3 times that I turn both devices on at the same time, it won't sync to both of them at the same time. Now, this issue isn't persistent. If I turn the helmet off and on again, and I reset the remote, which is by just holding one of the buttons down. It eventually will sync the two together. But what happens is if I'm in a hurry to get somewhere and I've got to go through that whole process of turning the helmet off and on again in order to get the lights to sync up, it's just annoying. Other things about the remote that I feel like could use some work, and you can probably see it here in the video, is that the remote's gasket between the handlebar and the mount, it's a little flimsy, and this constantly gets moved around just because the nature of where it is. I'm going to knock it with my backpack, or while I'm moving my bike around to the garage, it's going to get moved, and the gasket wants to stay put while the remote moves around, and then it ends up sticking out. It ends up not protecting the finish on my bike's handlebars from the mount scratching it. This solution seems easy to me. This gasket just needs to be like a 3D formed gasket that will actually kind of fit up inside of the plastic mount. I feel like that should settle that problem pretty easily. I've seen that done with other accessories that I've mounted on my handlebars. And the other thing is this band that holds it in place. Now, I understand that if you've got more than one bicycle and you want to be able to remove this quickly, that this band is simple. But the problem is these rubber bands are still rubber bands. And even though they're relatively strong, eventually the elements are going to get to them. It's going to get wet, it's going to get exposed to a lot of sunlight, and it's going to crack and break. And if that happens while I'm riding, then I'm out a $40 remote. I would prefer having some sort of actual like screw and plastic mechanism to mount the remote on my handlebars. And again, this would be a selling point for Unit 1, is you could sell the remote to go with the helmet for a smaller than $40 surcharge. Kind of just throw it in because you need that remote for extra safety features on the helmet, and then sell these mounts for extra. I'm no entrepreneur, so I don't know how all of that works or how that would affect the bottom line. But yeah, I feel like this could use some work. All right, well, if that video seemed a little bit more con than pro, I can assure you that I love my Unit 1 Faro smart helmet. Is it because I think it's the coolest looking helmet around? Possibly. But after doing my research, I feel like the Faro has some of the best tech available, especially when it's combined with competitive pricing. Also worth mentioning is that when I had issues trying to order my helmet from Amazon initially, Amazon, again, just had a lower price. I had all these issues. They kept sending me the wrong size. So instead, I actually decided to go straight to Unit 1 and buy the Faro helmet directly from them. I was actually able to take advantage of promotional pricing on their website, and it ended up being about the same price as I would have bought it on Amazon. So I guess the lesson there is to just always buy directly from the seller. Unit 1's communication was fast, clear, and friendly. And after my experience with Unit 1, I'm confident that they're a company that is receptive to customer feedback, and that the next generation Faro and the next generation remote will be leveled up. Now, after posting my initial overview video of the Faro Smart Helmet, Unit 1 actually took notice. They contacted me through my website and let me know that they wanted to team up with that one guy. Now, as an affiliate, Unit 1 is offering you a chance to save money on this sick helmet, as well as their other offerings. Just click the link in the description, and at checkout, use discount code ThatOneGuyMoto to get 10% off your entire order of $100 or more. That 10% could be on the Faro, or the Aura Smart e-bike helmet, or the Torch Urban Backpack, and other accessories offered by Unit 1. So don't forget to use that link in the description to get your gift. All right, so that's the end of this review video. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Now, if you're out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am out.